Hello students, I am Assistant Professor Yeshwan Bhara from LG School of Law, and today we'll be discussing about the topic of Indian Evidence Act, that is relevancy and difference between admissibility and relevancy. As we all have discussed earlier, like I told you that Evidence Act is divided into three parts. Therefore, this particular relevancy chapter will be consisting in the first part. So now let's start with the lecture. So you see the first section of the chapter 2 is section 5. Now section 5 talks about the relevancy of the facts. It says that evidence may be given of fact in issues are and the relevant fact. It goes like this: evidence may be given in any suits or proceedings of the existing or non-existing of every fact in issue, and of such other facts are hereinafter declared to be relevant and of no others. Okay, now you see that any of the facts, any of the evidences which are given in a trial for like to proving the existence of fact or the non-existence of fact. Now whether these evidences are relevant or not, they will be showed, or they are shown under from the section 6 to 55. If you see sections, like if you go from section 6 to 55, they talks about that which facts are relevant fact. And if you give if the parties give evidences related to the relevancy of the fact, then its relevancy will be checked by the this particular chapter, or you can say from section 6 to section 55. Now moving further, you see the difference between the relevancy and the difference relevancy and the now, as we all like from the definition, we have got what are the what is relevancy, but we don't know about the admissibility. See, admissibility, if you say, it is not based on logic, but it is based on the strict rules of principle. Now, admissibility talks about whether this particular fact which has been produced, or whether the particular evidences which has been produced before the court is admissible or not. Okay, for that particular thing you again have to refer Indian Evidence Act, and in that Indian Evidence Act you will see whether this particular fact is relevant or whether this particular fact is not relevant. Okay, so yeah, so you'll see in relevance, you'll see relevant means that thing which are logical probative or based on logical reasoning. Relevant facts, again, as I said, it dealt under section 6 to section 55 of the act. And if you see admissibility, you see that it is not based on logic but based on a strict rules of law and to the fact and issue, but still they are considered as admissible. Now to understand the admissibility of the fact, I have like you can see the example. The example says that the proof of loss of original deed has not effect on the decision of the case, but this proof of loss of original is admissible in evidence before secondary evidence of the original document may be given. So you see further when you go through the Evidence Act, you will see there is a provision of secondary evidences also. In case if there are like a case when the person or the party is not able to produce the original documents, then in that case the person, by stating the valid reason, he can produce the certified copies or the duplicate copy of the that particular document. Again, that you see that these are mentioned under the, or these are known as the secondary documents, as we have seen this particular types of documents, if you remember, in the kinds of evidence which talks about the original and unoriginal, or you can say that original or duplicate. Okay, now again moving further, the rule of admissibility are mentioned from section 656 onwards of the fact of the act. Now you see that section 6 to 55 talks about the relevancy, and section 56 to like section 56 to further provisions, they talks about the admissibility of the documents, whether that particular documents are admissible or not. Now moving further, you will see that relevancy, the rule of relevancy only declared that the particular fact is relevant or not. See, whether that person has committed murder or not, that is a different thing. But you see that what are the facts which are relevant in that particular case. Okay, but the rule of admissibility declares whether the certain types of relevant facts are admissible or to be excluded. It means that relevant fact has to be excluded, or it has to be admissible, like they are admissible or not, or it has to be excluded from the fact and issue. Now again, moving further, you will see that the rule of evidence describe which relevant fact may be considered for the admissibility, and in the admission is the means and modes by which relevant facts become admissible. Now it says that the particular facts, that the fact is relevant or not, whether that fact is considered or as a admissible facts or not. It talks about the rule of evidence, talks about whether this particular relevant fact can be considered for the relevant like admissibility or not. But again, the in the admissibility, you will see that what are the modes or by which means these particular relevant facts becomes the admissible in that particular you say in the particular fact and issue. So that means that whether this particular fact, whether this particular relevant fact, sorry if I'm I might be confusing or you might be getting confusing, but there is nothing to get confused. You'll see that whether the particular relevant fact is admissible or not, it has been decided by the court, and it has been said that what are the means and modes by which this relevant fact become admissible. Again, I will be coming to the example further. Okay, now moving further, you see that these facts are relevant and not necessarily admissible. Now you'll see that the relevant facts may be admissible in the court of law. Okay, that they might be or they may be admissible in the court of law. And again, in while talking about the admissibility, you see that facts which are admissible are generally relevant. It's not like every time that it's like we have taken example also earlier that about the secondary evidences. So you'll see that whether the fact is all the admissible fact are generally relevant, they are not like truly relevant. Now let's see the example of the relevancy and again the admissible fact. Now you see that communication, there are privileged communication. There is a chapter of privileged communication, you will see, which are mentioned from section 122 to 126. So in this particular example, you will see that the communication made by spouse during marriage or the communication between the advocate and the client may be relevant, but they are not admissible according to the strict rule of the. Yeah. So now you see that the communication which are made between the spouse during the marriage or the communication between the advocate and client, now these are the privileged communication. You'll see there is again I say that there are sections which sections from 122 to 126. 122 and 126 talks about the privileged communication, and these communications are between the spouses or the advocates, so they are relevant. Because you see, whenever the person or whenever the advocates who whenever the client goes to the advocates and they discuss their problem, advocates are not supposed to disclose their problem towards or into the court, stating that कि सर ये मेरे पास आया था और मैंने इसका जो प्रॉब्लम था वो ये प्रॉब्लम था and he had committed the murder. So he can't say like this, or he had committed any offense, he can't say like this. They are the confidence. So you'll see again you will see when you'll be practicing and when you'll be going to the internships and all, you'll see that there is a confidentiality clause. If you'll be sitting with your senior or where you are interning, and there's some clients approaches to the to your advocate, okay, in that case your advocate will tell you to go out of the chamber and he will be discussing alone with the client. So there is a confidentiality clause in the evidence act, and all these conversation with the client and advocates or during between the spouses are relevant. They are relevant, but again they are not admissible under the court of law or admissible under the Evidence Act. Similarly, you will see that some facts may not be relevant, but still they are admissible. Okay. Uh, in the section, you will see from section 53 to 55, when there is a question of the character of the person. Okay, then the test of the veracity, which is taken by the advocates, they are relevant, but still like they are not relevant, because in that particular thing the advocate will ask different questions. Okay, you see, you must have seen the movies, you must have seen some series, or you have seen the true litigation in that. The advocates to check the character of the person, whether the person is speaking truth or whether he is manipulating the court. So to check that particular character of the person, lawyers sometimes, advocates, they interrogate, or they cross examine the witnesses or the parties. So all these questions are these things are not relevant in the court of in the Evidence Act, but again, yes, these are admissible, that the person is speaking the truth, or the person is telling lie, or he is manipulating the court. So I hope that you must have understood the terms, the section 5, and the difference between the relevancy and admissibility. Okay, in any case, if you have any problem, you can write down in the comment box, and you can ask me anytime. And I hope you all are well and fine. So I'll take your leave, and I'll finish my lecture here. So take care of yourself and have a nice day. Thank you.